Welcome to the Team of One podcast, where we share the story of the solopreneur by exploring different ideas from different voices so you too can find a way to live life on your own terms. My name is Mo Choice, and in this episode, I spoke to Heidi about her transition from floral designer to business and leadership coach, emphasizing the importance of alignment and leveraging personal strengths. We discussed maintaining boundaries, the evolving market, and how to make a strategic pivot that actually works. Heidi is a real disruptor who knows what she wants and how to get it, and I enjoyed meeting her. I hope you will too. Peace. Welcome back to the Team of One podcast. Today we are joined by Heidi Taylor. Heidi, welcome. And who are you?
Thank you, Mo. Who am I? I am a business coach and also a leadership coach. So I work both in the healthcare space as an executive performance leadership coach, and I also work with business owners and help them with their sales and business growth. And I'm delighted to be here, by the way.
Thank you. And thank you for making the time. And I know I had to change things and you had to change things. So I'm glad we finally made it.
Me too.
I appreciate your time. I wanted to get into this idea. Do you identify as a solopreneur?
100%. Yeah.
And how do you define solo?
How do I define it? You know, I think a solopreneur really is somebody who it's your idea. It's your thing. You're running the ship. You're making it happen. Can you have a VA? Absolutely. Can you have team members? For sure. But you are the boss, right? Team of one. Love it. That's a solopreneur, right?
Okay, great. Yeah. And so why did you decide that you wanted to be a solopreneur? Take us back to when you made it.
Thank you for that question. So this is my second career and many pivots. And as I was entering into what I thought was going to be my second career, I kind of went back to school and I met with my practicum placement, the person that owned the therapy practice at the time, who was a total douchebag. And he said, you can join our practice as you're in school, but you have a husband, don't you? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, it sounds like he makes pretty good money. So, this should work out great for you because you may not make that much money here. And I was like, he did me such a gift, right? He gave me such a gift by showing his true colors because it pissed me off royally. And I was like, okay, I'm out. I'm doing this thing on my own. If this is the route I have to take, I'm going it on my own. So that was great. And sometimes, often in my life, the best decisions I've made is when I've gotten really annoyed and said, nope, I'm doing this for myself.
I heard this from someone. You use everything you can to get what you want, whether it's anger, whether it's revenge, whether it's envy. It doesn't matter. These are emotions that come and go. But you use everything you can to get what you want. I think that's the lesson there, probably.
I love that. Yes.
Yeah. Not an easy decision, I'm assuming.
Man. Well, it takes a lot of guts, right? But I think I had enough of a reason, just in like, okay, if this is what I'm going to be presented with, that I'm not going to make much money, that I'm not going to be valued, what I really valued was being able to offer a service that I could really get behind that would help people. And so if I had to do it somebody else's way, or under someone else's roof, that just felt like a deal breaker. I didn't realize how much of a deal breaker. I mean, yeah. I had also, like, my first career was very humble. I worked as a floral designer. So I worked with many, many, many small business owners and saw, right, the blood, sweat, and tears. So I knew what I was getting myself into. I had my own small business in floral before. And so I was like, okay, obviously I'm not meant to work for the man. This is just not meant to be. So
I put a post out today on LinkedIn about Jerry Seinfeld when he first got invited to do the pilot for Seinfeld on NBC. He was on Letterman and he asked Letterman backstage and he said, any advice? And Letterman said to him, don't let them change a thing. And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, well, you're going to write the pilot. They're going to want to change things, characters, names, setting, color, what they're wearing, lines. Don't let them change anything. And Seinfeld said, why? And he said, because if you fail, you can live with that.
Yeah. Love it.
And I think that's for me, the definition of a solopreneur is that you do it your way.
Yeah.
And you win, lose, or draw, at least it was your way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
When was the tipping point that made you say, I made the right decision?
Every day. Every day.
From
Honestly.
the beginning? From the beginning?
I mean,
you never doubted it? You never thought?
But I doubt it every day.
Okay, say more about that. Say more about that.
I doubt it every day. I have we all go, maybe some people doubt it less than others, but I am always a combination of checking in with myself. Okay, is this doubt legit? Do I need to trust it? And it's also there to keep me humble, right? I feel like it keeps me humble. It keeps me in check. And I also know, like, when I'm really risking something, I'm like, okay, I'm really stretching. I'm really at my edge. And I think this is what it's supposed to be, right? It's supposed to be like this. If I'm numb and I'm just going through the motions, then I might as well get a job, because that's a whole other different, I don't know if it's easier. It's a very different kind of hard.
Definitely.
Right. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm also somebody that's very much in touch with, like, how I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, what is happening. And so, I'm very much in check with, like, okay, so I'm nervous about this, but is there value for me there? Do I want to give this up? Is this just a bad day? Is it a good day? All those kinds of things.
You have to have a word with yourself. That's what I say. I learned that from Sarah, who works with me. She's like, I had to have a word with myself. I'm like, yeah. I think that the emotional, I think that's a really good insight I just got as you were talking. If we feel, then the emotions are going to make us think, is this right for me? Of course, because we feel, we're in tune with the emotional state, the fear, the doubt, right? And so that's going to make us, I question everything every day, to be honest. I'm exactly like you, everything. And I think that's absolutely fine. And I think probably if I was an employee, I'd also probably want to quit every other day as well.
Yeah, right. Yes, I think it's in me. It doesn't matter where I'm working, right? As an employee or for myself, I think I would still be doing the same questioning, right? Assessing, am I aligned? That's what I'm always looking for. Am I aligned?
That's exactly right. In terms of, watch, I want to ask you this. If someone hears you say that, if I'm aligned, and then they ask you, I don't know what that means, can you explain it? How would you explain it?
Yeah, I think I would be like, I'm always looking at, this very much is this is how I see the world, right? How am I strengthened? Am I using those strengths to my maximum capacity? And if I'm not, I need to go back and look at, okay, I'm out of alignment. If I'm doing a bunch of tasks or whatever it is that doesn't line up with how I'm strengthened, like, do I know myself? Do I know what strengthens me? Do I know who I am? Do I know when I'm in my sweet spot? And if I don't, then I need to find that out first, right? And then go, okay, how much of my day am I spending in my strengths versus not? And if I'm not, then I really need to go, okay, I'm really not aligned. Am I out of integrity with what I'm doing? Can I really get behind what I'm doing here? Right.
Yeah, I think that's spot on. I talk often about alignment. If I'm trying to explain it, I say, what do you want? Dream life. How do you want to get there? And then what are you doing about that? And that's for me the alignment. And of course, your purpose, your principles, your values, your life lessons, your ethics, your morals, your beliefs, obviously fit in within that. But I think that's what you spoke about. When you talk about being in your strengths, is that the same as saying being empowered by what you do? Is that the same kind of idea?
Yeah, I mean, so I do have some strengths finder training, so Gallup strengths, right?
I
So
see.
I literally know my top 5 strengths
Got
and
it.
use them as a tool to make sure, okay, like am I enlisting these
Using
strengths?
using those. Got it. Got it. Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So, okay. Um, you got to where you got to. Some things you're happy with, some things I'm assuming you're not exactly happy with. What's the one lesson that you think would represent how you got to where you are? What's the main lesson?
Main lesson.
Mm.
I think I want to be like really present to this because I think it's incredibly important, right? Everything, everything in my life. I think this is so simple and yet so powerful. Everything that I've done, I brought with me. And instead of trying to like lose parts of me along the way, I'm like, how can I integrate and align all of this as much as possible, right? To the best of my ability. And then, I'm bringing all of me to everything as much as I can be. Does that make sense? Too simple?
No, very profound, and to turn it into a lesson. When I bring all of me to everything, what happens?
Yeah. I mean, magic. Like the best of me comes forward. People are getting the best of me, right? The outcome is, the thing is, like, I've done different things in my life, different types of things. So I was a floral designer, I did social work, um, had many other odd and interesting jobs. And I feel like all of that has to be integrated, right? I'm just bringing my fullest self if I bring that to my work. And then people are, there's nothing worse than hiring someone who has no real world experience to draw on, right? And so I'm at that age where I have a lot of experience to bring with me. And so instead of trying to hide it or pretend I'm something I'm not, it's like, you know, I tend to be somebody that's really sort of down to earth. And so sometimes really smart people really appreciated that about me because, like, I don't care about your fancy language. I don't care about, I mean, I do care about your degrees and whatever. I think they're accomplishments, but like, it doesn't define you. Right. And so I think I keep things pretty simple. And so I don't know. Sorry, simple is not, I don't feel like that's the right word, but when somebody's super educated, it's like I can bring them down to a level where they're
Gra-
appreciated by more people. Right.
Grounded,
Yeah,
grounded.
totally. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What's the next level for you? What's the next thing you're
Mm.
aiming at? The next big challenge?
So I'm sort of on the cusp of a big pivot. Not on the cusp, I'm in the middle of it really. This is where we kind of reconnected, Mo. Was I'd been doing business coaching for 10 years and realized, there's been lots of shifts in the market. And I was really feeling a pull to like, okay, something needs to change here. And so my pivot is moving into working with leaders. So C-suite leaders in healthcare, which is like a weird uh I did not foresee this pivot coming. Let's just put it that way. It wasn't on the dream board for me. Okay.
How did it happen?
So my spouse is in healthcare. So I was doing a lot of listening about his leadership challenges. And then I also have a really close friend who has a business and a team. So both people in my life that are important lead teams. And I am the ear and I am listening and I am taking in all the information, right? And I was just really I mean, this is literally where my new message came from, which is lift the weight of leadership. I recognized the weight that they were carrying, and I was like, I feel like this is the next thing, right? I want to help these people. I know that leadership is a place that I can offer a lot, and maybe staying in the lane of a solo business owner and working with other solo business owners who are leaders. It's time to just make a change, right? And so
Why
yeah.
why is it right? Why is it right? Why is it time to make a change?
Yeah, I mean, the market was nudging me because, things were changing and I wasn't really loving how they were changing. So that definitely played a part.
Mm.
And also, I was evolving and growing. I started 10 years ago studying the Enneagram. And I was like, how am I ever going to use this thing? And now I'm running workshops on the Enneagram for leaders. Like, I just,
Can you
who knew?
explain to the miseducated like us what an Enneagram is?
Yeah. So the short version is it's a personality tool, right? And so there's a symbol with 9 points, and each point is a personality type or a style. And based on your style, I can really help you, lean into being a stronger leader, not as reactive to your
Mm.
patterns, or just show you it's an amazing tool for reflecting back to you the areas that you're really struggling in, and how you can, those blind spots get pretty tricky, right? And so having that, it's another tool, right? Every leader has their tools and pardon me, method that they like to use, and that's mine. So
Great. And
yeah.
so what's the big challenge with this pivot and this next level of yours?
Yeah. So I used to spend a lot of time on social media, right? Marketing my business. And I made a shift, and I was like, okay, if these are the people I'm going to go after, I'm going to try cold email. And that's how I've been contacting this new ideal client is cold email, because I'm sick of social media. It's just not, so talk about being aligned and being in your strengths. Transmitting my message on social media is not me being in my strengths. But get me to write a cold email, and I'm not a copywriter. That's not my background, but I have empathy. I've been doing so much listening to the voice of my customer, right? Diving deep. And so I know how to write a cold email that gets their attention. And that has been so amazing. It's been so fun. It feels easy. It feels light. Nobody talks about cold email like this, but for me, it's been amazing.
So that's working for you.
It's working. People are responding. Like, I think, as a solopreneur in the online business space, we get inundated with emails, right? And it's not that they're not working, but this new group of people that I'm going after spend their days in their inbox.
On email, yeah, right.
That is where they live. And so it's not out of the ordinary for them to respond to me. And so I can start conversations that can go deep in an email. It's been amazing.
And it's probably a quieter lane because they're not getting pitched as much as business owners or coaches or people.
100%. Yeah. And in online business, we ghost people. We ignore emails all of the time. Right. But in healthcare, it's like, no, you get back to people.
They have to respond.
Pretty much. Right. And that's that. If they want to get anything done, it's an email. And
yeah, I don't respond to my emails.
Right.
I don't even answer my phone. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's been a great discovery. Like, it's that simple message, like, where are your people? Go find them and talk to them there.
Where's their attention?
Yes. Yes.
That's the question. Where's their attention?
Yes.
Placed? And then you just go into where their attention is.
Yeah.
What are they, what, if they're watching a TV show, you advertise on that TV show.
That's right.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just figuring that out, right? Like, I don't know if I could have articulated that in the beginning. And yet, somehow I knew, like, here's the thing, Mo, right? Like, I also needed to work with some service providers, right? Like a marketing coach and a sales coach, even though I help people with sales, right? To tune up and to, like, be like, okay, what are other places where I need to, like, I don't think I could have gone as deep in my voice of customer if I hadn't worked with a coach who does messaging and marketing. 10 years into my business, right? You keep hiring people. You keep up leveling. If I want to up level, I need to hire other people to help me, right? I can't just do it on my own, even though I'm a solopreneur. I can't do everything on my own. It's insane.
So pivot's done. You found a way to get their attention. What's the big challenge? What's the risk? What's the fear? What's the question that you want answered?
So right now, the thing that they're responding to are workshops, right? So I'm doing workshops for these groups of people, their teams. I really want to be doing one-on-one work with them. So getting that to translate, right, takes time. I have found that the way to earn their trust is a workshop because it's low risk for them, right? It's a 2-hour, 1-day, whatever with me. They get to test me out, see if they like me. And so now I'm working on, okay, what are the ways that I can sell myself into some one-on-one work with individual team members who need that support, right? That's sort of the next step. Just trying to figure that out.
Why is that an important step for you?
Because I started with one-on-one. I love one-on-one. There's so much value there. I think too, the other part of that answer is like spending more time working with teams as well is something I'm trying to work on. So it's one thing to do a workshop for people and it's like me delivering something. It's another thing to get in there and like actually make change with the team.
So you got one-to-ones, you got team working with the team coaching, and then you've got the workshops for individuals, let's say, but they're connected somehow.
Yes. Yeah. That's
right.
right.
And so what have you noticed now? Is there anything that's come up for you as you've been answering these questions? How would you summarize all this?
How would I summarize it all? The first thing that's sort of coming to my mind is like the growth isn't as uncomfortable as I assumed it would be. Yeah, I had a lot of worries about like, will they accept me? It's a different world, right? I didn't come from that healthcare corporate world. Will they accept me? And they're just people, just people doing different kinds of things. And so that's been really amazing. And in fact, they are the experts in their world and I'm the expert in mine, and respecting each other's expertise, not trying to be in their lane and them in mine.
It's really, really important what you've just shared. A lot of my clients, I tell them, focus on the outcome. And then they say, but I can't really get them to that outcome. I can help them get there. So why would I sell them the outcome? I go, well, because you're helping them get there. It's like, but I know nothing about that, healthcare or whatever. And I always say to them, the chef on the cruise is helping people get to the port. Not directly, but he's feeding the crew and he's feeding the guests and helping generate money. And the chef on the cruise doesn't need to know anything about running a ship. She just needs to know how to run the kitchen.
Right.
You don't need to know anything about healthcare.
No.
You need to know about leadership and team dynamics. And
yeah. What's the thing that's keeping them up at night? Right. That's all I need to know.
And so I'll come back to you and I'll ask you, what's keeping you up at night?
What's keeping me up at night? Yeah. I mean, what's keeping me up at night? I mean, a lot of things. A lot of things keep me up at night. But in my business, the boundary stuff can be tricky. Like I'm somebody that's done that work, but when you pivot, I think the hard truth, I don't know if people are talking about it or not, but my hard truth with pivots is it's almost like you have to relearn client boundaries all over again. Because I think for me anyways, you feel a little bit like, oh, I'm going back to being like a new business owner again, but I'm not. I know all the lessons, right? And my job is to continue to lean into that rather than backing away and being like, oh no, I'll just let them do whatever they want to do. I just need to get in the door so they can, step all over me in the beginning and then right? No, can't do that. but there's that tendency there. And so that will keep me up at night feeling really annoyed if I feel like I'm not sticking to I have some really amazing like systems around boundaries that if I hold to them, I'll get much better sleep at night, you know?
So the
So
challenge is not using those systems.
that's right. Yeah. Not being like being afraid to use them, being afraid to
Where does
use
that
them.
come? Where does that come from?
I get feeling like I'm new, right? I'm new in this world and like this is different. I can do this as a solopreneur in my like online business space, but this isn't how they do it here, right? Which is like, really?
Not true. Not true.
Right. Right.
Um, we talked about obviously how you figured out that solopreneurship was for you and how you use that conversation as the motivator to go and do your own thing and do it your own way. And how the ups and downs of solopreneurship, you used that and dealt with it, and you got to where you wanted to get to, and how this pivot came to you kind of organically, and how you went with it and you saw the opportunity and you tried something new and you got the help that you needed as well to upskill, which is very, very important, I think, for anyone in any walk of life who wants to be better. And how you found a way to get the attention from the people that you want to help and how you're able to help them. And then we also talked obviously about how there's certain things you want to be doing and you're trying to figure out how to get those done, like the one-to-ones and the teamwork, and how you know your boundaries might be tested and how to keep an eye out for that. What have you learned about yourself or others or the world as you went through that conversation with me?
Hmm. Hmm. What have I learned about myself or others or the world? I mean, I feel like I heard somebody else say this, and I think it's very true, which is like, we're all just trying to figure it out. Like, nobody has it figured out. Nobody has it all figured out. Nobody. And I think it's just a good reminder, right? Like, I will never have it all figured out. And neither will the person that I'm reaching out to an email who scares me or the next team that scares me that I need to work with. They don't have it all figured out. Otherwise, they wouldn't be hiring me, right? And so I feel like it's a really nice way to like level the playing field.
Yeah, especially coupled with we're all human, like you said
Yeah.
earlier. It's like it doesn't really matter what the mask or the role or the tag says. I love that. I think Ricky Gervais, the creator of The Office, said the best advice he got was no one knows what they're doing. Yeah. And it's true, especially if you want to create something that hasn't been created before. How are
Yeah.
you going to know? It's another
That's
thing
right.
a lot of my clients say, like I say, who do you want to work with? And they'd say, well, in my past, I've worked with, it's like, I'm not asking about who you worked with. I'm asking about who you want to work with. Yeah, but don't I have to work with people that I've worked with before? And it's like, well, then you can't create something new.
Love it.
Yeah, you don't get innovation. Like you don't get businesses that come up with new ideas saying, oh, we can only do what we've done in the past.
That's right.
Otherwise, we just be doing
Yes.
the same things all the time. Yeah, it's a
Yes.
Grace Hopper quote. That
Love
Navy,
it.
the lady from the Navy. I think she's from the Navy. The most dangerous the most dangerous phrase in the English language is "We've always done it that way."
Oh, yeah. Yuck. Right. Yuck. Yeah. One of my top 5 strengths is ideation, right? I really get jazzed about like, what can we create together? Where's the new idea? Right?
Yeah,
Very exciting.
you'd be good with that. You'd be fun with that. I appreciate your time and your insights and your care and attention to sharing your ideas. It means a lot. Where can people who do you want to talk to and where can they find you?
Yeah, leaders, right? If you're on a leading edge, you are a reactive person that wants to move from reactivity to grounded responses, talk to me. You can find me on Instagram. That's where all my links are. I have a leadership bias quiz that you could take there, find out what your leadership bias is and how it's impacting other people. And if you're, interested in like who have I been working with, my client roster, I have a really great reflective exercise called the Client Roster Review. And it just takes you through 4 simple questions, and people get really great results. So find me on Instagram and go grab
And
my opt-in.
the handle on Instagram is?
Oh, yes. Thank you, Mo. It's at Heidi Listening, HEIDI Listening.
Very cool. And we'll put all the details in the session notes. Appreciate your time. Thank you for spending it with me. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon.
What a pleasure. Thank you.
The difference between surviving and thriving often comes down to a single shift in perspective. Maybe today's conversation sparked something for you, or maybe it confirmed what you already knew. I'm going to keep exploring what it takes to reach the next level. For more solopreneur stories, hit subscribe. And if you know someone who'd be perfect for the team of one, please introduce us on LinkedIn. See you next time. Peace.